Hi there, Kurt Seevers for Verdesian Life Sciences here near Washington, Iowa this afternoon at a Winfield United answer plot site, and we're going to see a little bit of difference between what we're seeing in the field here between Preside CL and an uninoculated plot. We'll take a quick look and talk a little bit about what we're finding out as far as yield potential in these plots as well. And we're just going to take a quick look at some soybeans here that are treated with Preside CL and Warden CX. And one of the things that I think you'll notice if you look down the plot here is one of the things we've talked about with inoculants before is the uniform canopy development that we see in these plots. Nice, even, almost tabletop kind of development in the plants at this stage. And we'll talk just a little bit about yield here as well. But this is the Preside plot, and we'll just walk over here. The next plot over is an untreated check. This has the Warden CX applied, but no inoculant. And I think you look down the length of the plot here, there's one little hole out there that we created, but I think you can see some unevenness in the canopy in this 4-row plot. And we'll talk in just a minute here about yield potential as well. We took some plant counts and did a little bit of math, and we'll cover that here in just a second. So what I wanted to do real quick is talk about what we found at the Washington, Iowa site as far as yield potential. And we're again comparing the Preside CL versus no inoculant. And we went out and took a foot of row of plants from each of the plots out of the middle, one of the middle 2 rows, counted the number of plants, and what we found was we had 9 plants in the Preside treated plot, and in the no inoculant plot we had 7 plants and 1 plant that I call a runt. Basically a plant that has it's very much smaller in diameter. The stem is much smaller. There are a few flowers and pods on it, but not nearly as many as a full-size plant. We looked at the number of main stem nodes that had reproductive sites on them, and that was either pods starting to develop or blooms on them. And the per foot row difference was 122 main stem nodes for Preside and 104 main stem nodes with no inoculant, which gives us a positive 18 nodes per foot of row difference between Preside and the no inoculant plot. If we use the linear row feet for 30-inch rows, which these plots are planted in 30-inch rows, of 424 linear row feet per acre, multiply that by the 18 nodes, that gives us 313,632 more nodes per acre in the Preside treated area compared to no inoculant. Then I had to make a couple of assumptions regarding how many harvestable pods and beans we would get out of these plots. And I did some pretty conservative estimates here, assuming 1 harvestable pod per node, and assume 2 harvestable beans per pod. And if we look at harvestable pods and beans, typically as we go lower on the plant, there's more pods with more beans, and as we go up on the plant, we tend to find fewer pods, and then also usually fewer seeds in those pods. So I think these are reasonable assumptions to work with, and it'll give us a reasonable yield estimate to look at. So we multiply our 313,632 nodes times 2 beans, and that gives us a total of 627,264 more beans per acre. If we assume a 3,000 seeds per pound count, then basically we're looking at 627,264 beans divided by 3,000 gives us 209.1 more pounds of beans per acre for the Preside treated plots versus the untreated check. Assuming soybeans are 60 pounds per bushel, we divide 209.1 divided by 60, and that gives us 3.48 more bushels per acre in this particular plot. Of course, this is an estimate based on the information that we have and some basic assumptions, but I think if Mother Nature is good to us, there's certainly the potential for this yield difference to show up in these plots.